Is the camera going?
Camera's going. Phone's in the bag. Hi, folks.
Is always in the goddamn bag.
It really is.
I've been in New York for a fucking month, man.
Wow, it's been a month already?
It's been a month.
Dude, that went by fucking fast.
I know. Time flies when you're wishing I'd move out.
It's been a good month, though.
It's been a great month, man.
Wait, sorry, I'm so thirsty. Sometimes I get to the comedy club and they're like, "Do you want water?" And I'm like, "I don't think I've had water all goddamn day."
There's so many
really
sad
bad.
days where they're like, but every article's like, you know what? Every second you're breathing, you should also be drinking water. Like, so it's like you got to drink 18 gallons of water. Like some of it's, I'm like, everyone's grandfather like only drank whiskey and smoked Marlboros and they lived to like they're 80. But today they're like, oh no, you got to eat just keto, jump in a cold bath, shadow box.
Yeah, now there's an infographic that's like, if you're thirsty, it's too late.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it seems like if I'm thirsty, I should just drink some water. And I think I'll be goddamn fine.
Everything's so extreme nowadays. It's not just like, I need a salad every now and then, go on a walk. That's fine. It's either like you're eating yourself to death or you're like so healthy that it's like obnoxiously insane.
Yeah, and you think like humans we're meant to weather like the elements. Like we're animals that evolved. It's not like if
you can handle dominoes.
Yeah. I think
okay.
a good like litmus test is like, would this have killed like a child coal miner in 1902?
Yeah.
Because it's like the human spirit can endure a lot.
100%.
Not that it's like if you're a child coal miner, that's fine.
That's great.
And we're just being pussies.
Yeah.
But I mean like
you really
I think
sound
about
like toxic. Well, kids had fucking black one. So how about you get over your diabetes?
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
But if I'm like, oh, I'm worried the sugar's not good for me, and it's like, I'll probably make it.
Yeah.
It's not great for you, but like.
But it's also there's a spectrum because it's like everything you get is time in, time out. So it's like, you could become some sort of like.
What do you mean by that? Like
everything in life, it's like whatever you put a lot of time into it, you'll get that result.
Except with men.
That's the one thing where you put all your time in it. Really?
You put in all your time and you never get it back.
Yeah. That's love, actually. Is you put hard-working hours and time and you end up alone recording a podcast at 10:30 on a Tuesday. I mean, the amount of
it is 10:30 on a Tuesday.
It's 10:30 on a Tuesday. In a way, it's always been 10:30 on a Tuesday.
That's our version of it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 10:30 on
but
a Tuesday.
It means the opposite.
Yeah, it's
10:30 on a Tuesday right here, right now, goddammit.
I mean,
I'm sure it is 5 o'clock somewhere. I'd fucking love to be there. I don't mean to have a gloom and doom episode.
No, we can doom and gloom it. Sometimes we're talking with the positivity, but the people out there, if I know our fans, they're depressed.
Yeah, sometimes the phone's in the bag, but the bag is in hell. Everything's working out to be just as awful as it's supposed to be.
Yeah, dude. Well, hey.
No, things are good. Things are good. I said as I grabbed the flask that says love on it.
I mean, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Where did you get this again?
Panama City, Florida.
That's fucking perfect.
Absolutely beautiful.
What state do you think has the least people in love?
Huh. That's such a good question. Because you want to say a shitty state, but I think they have more people in love.
Because what else are you going to
Because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, okay, I went to the one bar. We sat in a cornfield and got drunk, and then I'll just pick one of the 3 fuckable people and fall in love with them.
Yeah, in New York, you're like, I'm not in love with anybody, but I guess I'll go look at Picasso's.
Like, New York is cool, but there is, like, it's almost like I feel like you're at a buffet, and nobody wants to commit to a plate. They're like, I want to try a little bit of this. I want to try a little bit of that. A little bit of ethical non-monogamy. A little bit of this. Like, I'm in a gimp suit with 14 people in a penthouse in Bushwick. Like, nobody wants to just be like, well, I'm going to marry the steak or the fajita, like all great plates. Whereas I feel like, you go to Iowa, they're like, the second we made eye contact, I'm like, I guess this is it. And then you just pumped out 14 kids, and that's how you keep it going.
Well, by that logic, and let's say we're doing as a percentage and not sheer numbers, because then it would just go up by population. But, like, the reason I asked, because Florida, I was like, it seems like a lot of Florida is not love. It seems like a lot of Florida is like sex work, which sex work is work, but sex work is not love.
Yeah, who loves their job? Nobody loves their job.
Yeah.
Nobody's drinking a coffee like, hey, if you say that you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Sex work
But your whole job is doing things people you specifically don't love.
A sex worker trying to convince you they like you is like your boss at Verizon trying to convince you you're a family.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we like you. You should stay here all day.
Yeah.
If you have a problem, come to me.
You know, even if I wasn't getting paid, I'd come here. They're both the same level of pathetic. Like, you should view someone buying, like, a sex worker flowers and be like, no, there's something there, in the same as my company cares about me. That is the
a
same
sex
level
worker
of
who
pathetic.
behind her bed has a poster that's like, working hard or hardly coming in my bosom. Please clean up the break room and please stop leaving cum on my back.
All everywhere. Yeah. They both have like the same like you're getting fired conversation where it's like, listen, we'd like to keep you around, but it's just not in the budget. Your card declined, John. You have to leave. How long until, like, I think when Uber Eats puts on like fleshlights, that's when most of civilization's over. It's when, like, we're really
Wait,
heading
Uber
towards
Eats fleshlights, so like you're ordering it.
You're just ordering a fleshlight. Like, you're ordering a burrito.
I bet you can
that's
do that
part
now.
fleshlight, and then you never have to leave your house. And you have like a little flask hat, and you have VR headset, and you can interactively like be on Joe Rogan's podcast. And I think a portion of this country is gone. There
was an old science fiction book about that. I forget, Larry Niven maybe or Robert Heinlein, one of the like old classic science fiction writers, wrote this. Well, sorry, burped as I was like, here's my take on society.
Yeah.
Second burp I've had on the pod. Disgusting. Thanks for being here. Where there was like this button you could push that like hooked up like electrodes to your head that just set off every pleasure center in your brain, and like, you know, a bunch of civilization just died off because they didn't reproduce, they didn't do anything, they just pressed that button until they died.
Yeah, I think I just was on a bus with everyone doing that. I think I just was on a bus with everyone just like, press button again. Oh, look a video. Oh, another video. Like, that's what we all do all day. It's just the only difference.
Yeah.
Is Instagram's just not that fun. We're all pressing a button that's also like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we are addicted to like
mediocrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even great. It's not like everyone's like, God, I watch
like
Shakespeare for 10 hours a day.
Yeah. We're shooting like just cut to shit heroin digitally.
Do you think the next great work of art is going to happen on social media? Or do you think it'll never be able to produce anything like real or substantial? I mean, obviously there's some...
Well, I mean, this... As a comedian who's trying to promote everything on social media, it's got to have like not at all. Never again.
I think the next great
that's
thing
why I
will
want
be
you
on
to subscribe to our
Comedy.
podcast. All social media is just mediocre dribble. None of it will ever be good. But anyway, follow my podcast, like all my clips, and come see me on tour.
But anyway, I'll be talking into this microphone for an hour every week on my schedule, whether I have something to say or not. It's not about if I have something to tell you. It's about coming up with something to tell you because, God damn it, we booked a time slot. We're like one of those, you know those ads for oat milk that are like, this is an ad for oat milk. And it's like sassy and it's like, we know we're an ad. Aren't ads stupid? But it's like, you're still trying to sell me oat milk.
Yeah.
It's like, that is what we're doing.
We're doing that with content.
Yeah, we're really aware that like social media is evil and like, you know, not full of substance and blah, blah, blah. And that's our brand.
Yeah.
And that's actually the brand we're building.
Yeah. The brand is that brands are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, TM.
Buy a shirt that says merch is stupid.
Which would probably sell. Which is probably a good ass idea.
Actually, they're saying it.
That's like the Che Guevara shirt where it's like the ultimate loss. It's like a guy his entire life fighting against capitalism, and then it's like, yeah, it just becomes a brand to be like, no, but your brand is that you're anti-brand. You're anti...
It's like that old Bill Hicks bit where he's like, going for the anger dollar. And it's like no matter what you say to try to undermine it, it's like there's a way to monetize it.
100%. Please subscribe to us on Patreon. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Because I feel like that's what everyone's scheming now.
Yeah.
Like, there is not this idea of, like, because, like, jobs, they'll chuck in a fucking trash can at a moment's notice. Mm-hmm. We've, like, taken away all protections. So it's like, on my Instagram, my algorithm is to the point, like, it thinks I am someone who I would rather die than become. But it is...
Yeah, your algorithm really is We have very different explore pages,
Yeah.
but they're hitting at very similar emotional truths.
Yeah, 100%. Like mine's all like very sad motivational things, but it's also now all this like weird hustle grind. Like if you're not making $10,000 a month doing drop shipping, you're an idiot. And it's like I go to this site, I click this button, and I'm like, that can't work because everyone would do that. Every single person would do that. And I know that can't be it.
Every person can't be a
They're like,
millionaire.
no, just get into day trading. And I'm like, I think that's just sports betting with your mortgage. And at least then I think I have some better idea on who's going to win the game than like if Tesla's going to flop or not. You know?
Wait, so your stuff is a lot of like financial...
It's like sad, like become unrecognizable in a year. And it's like all this thing or like people like I pull myself up. And then a lot of it is just like, man, with this, it's like I made 50,000. Like there's like,
Oh yeah, a lot of mine. Well, sorry, no, go ahead.
like I keep getting ads to show me like you can create an LLC at any bank, like has to loan you $50K, and then you can use that to invest in stuff. And I was just like, this just seems. I just don't need to. I'm not gonna use a 30-second Instagram video to like open lines. Like this just seems like the most hilarious. Like, and would you like to tell the court how you ended up here? And you're like, big hustle mindset said this would work. He said it was 100% legit. He has 1 million followers.
What if you trace the IP and you're like, oh my God, it was Warren Buffett's Instagram account. Yeah. Warren Buffett was Hustle Grind Big Money 69.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just getting fucking arrested for like defrauding $100,000 because I started the Phones in the Bag LLC. You started the Phones in the Bag LLC and all of it's on OnlyFans? You spent $100K on OnlyFans. And you said, no, you don't understand.
Yeah,
LLC
LLC stands for lick. I'd like to lick these ladies. I thought it was pronounced lick.
Yeah. Licking a lot, I'm a cum slut, LLC.
Mine is like the female equivalent of that, which is just like weight loss and weird fucking makeup that you have to be like 98 pounds to pull off, where you're like, this is so cool. And you're like, if I wore this outside, I would look actually fucking insane.
Yeah. I had this thought before I came here. I feel like everyone in New York, I kind of like, I see on the street, I kind of want to be a little bit. I'm like, dude, they look cool. But, moving from Chicago, I feel like everyone in Chicago is someone I would hope to never become. Like, I feel like it's like if they were two brothers, like New York's like the cool, successful brother, and Chicago is very much a middle child. In every way possible.
Middle child was in LA and New York. LA is the young child that's like coming up with like the internet, and it's like a TikTok star, and it's like cool and fun and hip. And New York is like the older, brooding, like reading Russian poets child.
Yeah.
And Chicago is like the fat middle child that skipped gym class to like smoke weed.
I put salad on a hot dog. Love me.
Salad on a hot dog?
Chicago hot dog.
It is a full fucking
it's
salad
a full
on a hot dog.
It's the only time, because you can tell they're just fat fucks that were just like, no, that's fine. You put a little salad on a hot dog. Very good. That whole city is like, there's more rats here, but the rats in Chicago are like plump. Are like going to be like in like the electronic scooters in Walmart. Because they eat Chicago food. They're all eating like Italian beefs.
They're all eating pizza that's actually lasagna.
Yeah, pizza.
No, Chicago, I'm like, we have like coats and like heating. You don't need to eat to survive the winter anymore.
Yeah, Chicago
like,
very much is like, no, just become a beluga whale.
Yeah, Chicago is genuinely like, I need to eat enough that I'll build a layer of fat so I won't die. And it's like, you don't have to live in a hut, man.
Yeah.
You have an apartment.
That's why it's just more affordable, is they can't like make it more pricey per square foot, because no one would be able to fit in their apartment. Like some New York
That's why it's
apartments
so spread out.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why, you know the scene in Star Wars where he cuts open that animal and he goes inside?
Yeah.
That's dating in Chicago.
It's truly it. You're like, I need something for the winter, and you're just going around. I mean, you know what I hate about the Midwest the most is they just try to pretend. They try to gaslight you into thinking that 0 degrees just isn't a big deal. And I'm like, you would literally die if you were left alone outside. Like, I was walking around, my hands are bleeding from the outside.
Your hands do just bleed
I'm
every
allergic
winter.
from the air for half of the fucking year, and they're just like, yeah, builds character. No, it'll build frostbite and kill you.
The worst is when you're breathing in through your nose and you can feel your nose hairs freeze.
Yeah.
That's brutal. That's when you're like, I don't need to like go to work like this.
No. And everyone's just like, oh, yeah, it's fucking, is what it is, you know. But that's summer. And you're like, but it's just same as any other summer.
I prefer New York, where today I was changing the rabbit's water and I found a cockroach in it.
Oh, God.
And I literally was like, oh my God, are they going to die?
Oh, no.
I think they're fine.
They are animals.
Yeah.
Like, they play with bugs and stuff outside. They'd be living on a farm
That's true.
if they weren't in your apartment.
That's true.
Being near one bug, it's like, they're from the woods.
That's a good point.
They're where bugs are from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's bad news bears for us because we're people. We've left the woods. You should be worried about you. The bunny is actually the one thing in this apartment that is
in the right place.
Right. That's you're building an ecosystem. Cockroaches, bunnies. There's a cat in the other room. We got some rats. We got a real jungle thing going.
We had talked about getting an octopus.
We did talk about
very
getting
briefly.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
That'd be pretty wild.
A podcast mascot.
Just a straight up octopus.
Yeah.
Just a dead octopus lying on the table. We had no idea how to take care of it.
We
thought it was smart enough to learn how to breathe.
He's so smart that he's our like Jamie on Joe Rogan. We're like, hey, octopus,
he's just typing in the typewriter.
Can you check this?
It's funny, like we were playing charades the other day for your birthday, and like movies, we were all like, I don't fucking know this one. Any animal thing we knew like instantly.
The only category we were good at was animals.
Yeah. I was like guinea pig, absolutely. Capybara. I was like, yeah, the capuchin monkey.
It's a dimension of our friendship that I didn't realize existed until the podcast. Is that we both really like have a lot of animal facts and enthusiasm for like
really
small
ready
animals.
to go. You know what it is I think at a certain point we couldn't carry around a teddy bear, so we were like, what's the closest alive thing?
What if I can just keep him in my head?
Yeah. I'm like, because it was just like, look at all these cuddly little buddies I can be friends with forever. It's like a forever friend. Yeah, okay, we hit it deep.
Would you be freaked out if you went to someone's house to hook up with them and they had like stuffed animals?
It depends on how seriously the stuffed animals were taken. Like, if it was like, this is just decoration on your bed, because I'm like, whatever. But if they're like, that's Jonathan, I'd be like,
oh, yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, that's insane. So we're probably going
to
fucking
like,
get into
if you were
a
like,
very
I've
serious
had this one since I
relationship.
was 5 years old. It's my old teddy bear.
That's
It's
pretty
like, okay, that's
adorable.
cute. But like, if someone had like a collection.
Dolls freak me the fuck out.
I never really played with dolls as a kid.
But you know those like American Girl doll? Like those
Yeah.
look possessed. It'd be weird if they weren't possessed.
Well, and they're like weird because they're a kid, but they're the size of a real baby.
That's weird.
It's like a lot of like, they're like big. They're like really big dolls. They're not like Barbies.
They're fucking like toddlers. And it's like anything that looks like it could come alive, that freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah, it was like a little uncanny valley thing going on.
Yeah, where I think the eyes are gonna roll back, and that's no good.
Or you know the dolls where like it's like there's some inner gyroscope where when you like tilt them up, their eyes like open. Have you seen those?
No.
Oh yeah, where it's
That
like if you
was
put them down, they like close their eyes and like it's not motorized. It's just like I don't exactly know how it works.
Were you scared of monsters as a kid?
Not particularly. I don't think. I mean, I had like probably diagnosable anxiety issues, but they weren't like
Yeah, the monsters in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't scared of monsters. You were just worried you would accidentally run over a monster in the street and were gonna get arrested.
Yeah, don't worry. I had anxiety. It just didn't have any art direction.
Yeah. There wasn't really a pinpoint goal.
No, I didn't like horror movies.
Never was a
Jump
horror-
scares. I couldn't handle like jump scares. I actually really had a huge aversion to horror movies as a kid, but like more than I think was normal. But no, I never had a big monster thing. Did you?
No, not really. Although I watched a lot, not like by myself, but my dad or somebody would like. I saw like the Alien movie when I was 5. Where,
My
like,
dad
the
loves that
thing
movie.
Pops out of his chest, and in my head I was just like, that's just what happens when you're too full. And like I would, because even as a kid, I had no sense of boundaries or pacing. So when I go to the movies, that's like the first big bender. You get like bucket of popcorn. You say to yourself, it's all right. I'm just gonna have the one bucket. Go out. The
Just
boys.
one bucket.
Yeah, bucket of corn. Big old bucket of corn. Fucking butter on there. The only fat fuck in my family. Everybody's like, yeah, and we're all gonna share it, but I'm like guarding it like my life, like I'm a mother ferret defending the pack. Everyone like puts the hand in, I'm like, and I don't eat. Like eating is too polite of what's happening. It looks like it's like a vacuum click. I would just take a handful and shove it into my fucking little fat
You
mouth.
never feel fatter than when there's popcorn falling down
Falling
your body
all
in the movie theater,
over.
and you're like, let it be.
Yeah, let it be. Like, dude, when I'm alone, it's brutal. Like, I take my shirt off. I still to this day take my shirt off. If there's there's no need to be sure. Like, it's like I'm about to have like dirty sex. I'm like shirt off.
Or like when you take a shit
forward.
where you have to like grip the toilet. You're
Absolutely.
like bracing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
Like a shit
level.
where you have to get completely naked.
I'm gonna face fuck this fucking falafel right now alone. You just watch it. And you're like, that's such good writing. And you just like deep throat. But I would do that with the corn, dude. I eat it, and I'd be like, it's free refills. We'd be dumb to not get another round, Grandma. So I go get the other corn. Fucking eat that whole thing. House the corn. And then I remember just always like at night being like, oh, I'm gonna fucking vomit. And I would throw up. And I would throw up.
Jesus.
Leave it so it's like a hangover. It's like my first like binge, but it's like with the corn, I'm just vomiting like, oh god. I'm gonna have to fucking call in sick to fucking kindergarten tomorrow.
All of this to see like Happy Feet.
Yeah. See Happy Feet or
It's kind of the same now. Any other binging, it's like, well, it's all just for a random girl. That's the Happy
all
Feet
this
of
just for a woman to not text you back.
That's
It's funny that you're like, dating is so expensive. And like, you brought her one drink and then you had 19 alone. As you were explaining how cool your podcast was.
Dating's not expensive. Breaking up is expensive.
Yeah. People don't talk about that enough. Dating's like whatever. You're splitting things sometimes. You buy a pretty thing. Breakups, though. Because, sometimes it costs you your life.
Building something's easy, but demolition is complicated.
Yeah. Dude, I remember it was like a sunny day in Chicago, my last breakup. I just saw the person had changed their profile pic to like, not me or whatever. Just crying. 10A. Like walking around fucked up. People's families coming back from the grocery store. And I swear to God, I was this close to being like, why? Can you teach me how to be happy? Like just that level of... I mean, I haven't told the story of the podcast, but the way I ended up reading the book Attached was I was at a bar just in my mind. Yeah, someone asked me about the breakup. I'm just telling them some basic things. And this woman just literally is like, what's your address? And in my head, I'm like, well, this is moving kind of quickly. She's like, no, I want to send you a book. And she sends me Attached. She's like, you need to read this book.
That's so fucking
So what
funny.
I said briefly was enough to be like, I need to mail this man a book to save his
She
life.
actually mail it to you?
It was mailed. She texted me to see if I read it. And then I never really heard from her again. Can't tell
She
if
must
that's
have
an
been one of
angel.
those avoidant types.
Yeah. Or just, avoiding a fucking dumpster fire. I'm not going to talk to a guy crying alone at a comedy club bar.
I think I've done that too. I've definitely cried at a comedy club before.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Favorite
laugh,
place.
you cry.
You laugh, you cry.
I guess that's about it.
Yeah. Not a lot of in-betweens here.
You laugh, you cry, you leave. You eat. You laugh, cry, eat, piss, and shit.
Yeah. My favorite things.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about.
Every hole is working at the comedy club.
Yeah. It's like a fountain.
Any liquid that can be going in or out is going in and out.
Yeah.
All the pipes are moving.
Everything's
That's
moving.
why it's the most magical place on earth.
That's the next thing I'm going to say. You crying? All the pipes are moving, brother.
I think that is a
Blowing it
real
down.
Louis quote.
Really?
He's like, the pipes are working.
There is something about a good cry where you're like, oh, I can fucking still do this.
Yeah, it's like a sneeze or something.
Yeah, just hold it in. It's like, it's like emotional coming.
Totally.
Yeah.
You're jerking off your heart. Yeah.
All right, well, speaking of orgasms, actually, this is pretty related here. Did you know that...
We were in the fun facts section of the
Fun
pod.
fact section of
Fun
the
fact
pod.
section.
Pulling it up.
We don't really have a theme song for that. I am
don't.
working on our theme song. Maybe it'll be out by the time this episode comes out. We're working on a theme song.
Okay, so Pope Urban thought sneezing was too similar to orgasms, so he banned sneezing. He also banned the sale of tobacco, which he thought induced sneezing.
Hilarious.
This says something about how brutal the medieval ages was. Where they're like, sneezing's too fun. Sneezing, the thing you do when you're sick, that is too close to the godly pleasure of having sex with someone you love. So you can't be doing that either. No sneezing. Anytime there's a mild emotion, you clamp that shit down, and let's wonder why for some reason want to kill the whole world.
That's probably what the Black Plague was. That was just a bunch of people that didn't let themselves feel one thing in their goddamn life, so they rotted away.
Yeah. It's also like, just you get even sicker if you're holding the sneeze. You're like, I don't want to go to hell, and everyone just plugging
Yeah,
their
there's
nose.
literally a plague traveling around, and they're like, don't sneeze. It's also, you're right. It's like, how bad is your life that you sneeze, and you're like, What am I, coming in a woman right now?
Whoa!
Golly gee.
Can you imagine just a bunch of like people in the minute just shoving pepper in the mouth, like, and they're like, dude, that was awesome. Let me go again. Let me get a fucking
Or
second.
a girl
hit.
being like, seeing a guy sneezing, being like, you're such a rebel.
Yeah, my God. You're like, I know. I was walking around. I walk around all night without a jacket, so I can sneeze even more. You want me to fucking? I'll sneeze in you.
Ew, ew.
We're continuing the riff.
No, it was a good riff.
Don't you
was a
riff
good
shame
riff.
me?
It was a good riff. I just pictured someone sneezing in you, and the idea of that physical sensation and the snot mixing with like pussy juice.
One time I was making out with somebody and I accidentally put their nose in my mouth.
They put their nose in your mouth?
Yeah.
Oh no.
That was tough. Thankfully, that's the one weird thing I wasn't into. There's a lot of stuff early on. You're like, oh no, this is it now. You know?
We were like, tongue in your ear.
Yeah, we've had a tongue in the ear.
Tongue in the ear is nice.
Tongue in the ear is nice.
Yeah.
I like some fucking around with the ears. Here's another little fun fact.
All right.
So, the CIA, they tried to kill our boy Castro a lot.
Is that the fact?
Yeah. Well, but something I thought was kind of funny is that they apparently also like a lot of these were like pitches, right?
They were what?
Pitches. Like they were being like, this is how we'll fucking get him. And one of them
The
was
CIA brainstorming?
Yeah. One of them was that they would just spray his broadcast studio with LSD so he would trip balls and make his speeches sound silly. And I just feel like, was this like
Fidel Castro?
was this like a bring your son to work day? Because this is CIA here. These people that murder and do all kinds of crazy. And this is like a pretty like, well, what if we get him high and he starts laughing on his broadcast? You know what? They're going to throw him out of power immediately.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Also, like, when you're on LSD, you're not like, I should step down from my position of power. You're like, I understand God. If anything, it probably would have made him more powerful.
Yeah. But I just thought that'd be funny. It's like, yeah, I was really down for the Castro thing. But they start laughing and start talking about what if a dog could laugh? This broadcast. And that's when I knew the revolution was over. Just that moment right there.
What if a dog could
like that's just like I just found to be like they had so many like or a substance that would make his beard fall out. Like what is he, Hercules? Is the hair a source of power? This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Trying to make him trip balls and lose his hair.
Also, you're like,
it's not a demigod. It's not like the beard falls off and all of the soldiers just disappear.
Also, you're like, a guy who can't grow a beard and does a bunch of acid. Let me tell you, CIA, some people will still like him. Okay, that's kind of my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I've fallen under the cult leadership of a man like that before.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate thing. That's actually the assassination attempt of your sanity and well-being.
Yeah, white women in Brooklyn will follow that man to the ends of the earth. It also is funny that the CIA doesn't understand LSD that they're like, even a drop will destroy the country.
Yeah. And you're like, no, I think he'll probably just go out into Meadow. Maybe just take off all those like weird one outfit that he has. Go out. And then there is a group of undercover cops in Detroit posing as drug dealers and another group of undercover cops posing as drug buyers. And they came across each other.
Oh, my God.
And were trying to arrest each other and thought they were both cops and like putting up badges and fighting each other.
That's fucking awesome.
And then the department said that was their most embarrassing moment. This happened in 2017.
Wait,
this was like not a long time ago.
They didn't. They were just like, that was a rough look for us. That was an L.
yeah. Just a bunch of cops beating the shit out of each other, thinking that they're not each other.
So the cops are allies, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Cops are allies. The best way to fight cops is with the cops. Make cops.
The only thing that can beat a cop is another cop.
Yeah. And this is another like fun little sex fact. Did you know that the cure for gonorrhea, because they didn't have anything, was like to drain it, right? And how do you guess they did that?
Wait, when was this?
This is during the Civil War.
To drain like
pus coming out of the dick.
Did they like puncture it?
Slapped it with the book, Maddie.
Oh.
And this is the mid 1800s. So can we guess which book is the most popular
The
around?
fucking Bible?
Yep. They were slamming their dicks with the holy word to get rid of an STD, dude.
Oh.
Can you imagine being like, Jesus, help me? Boom. Boom.
Oh my God.
Yeah. People's probably had like some like Leviticus 14 just imprinted on their fucking diseased cock as they're trying to slam it.
Also, imagine going to church and getting that Bible. You're like, did someone jerk off in this? Much worse.
We wish. We wish. It's covered with the pus of fucking Dave's been getting around.
Do you think part of it too is they were like, maybe it'll just inject some of the spirit into him?
Absolutely. They're like, I'll try any. I mean, if my dick was full of pus and I had to slam it with a book, I'd try anything.
Wait, I'm picturing it. Is it like they split it in half, like split the book in half and then close it on the dick, and then the pus comes out of it, like if you like squeeze.
No, it's like you
toothpaste?
put the dick on the table and you'd slap.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. What about women? You like shove a cross up their pussy? Like, what do you?
Yeah, I'm sure that happened a lot.
You put the dick on the
You
table
know what's
and
funny? And no one in the 1800s ever asked that question.
what about the women?
Well, yeah.
Well, how do you drain the gonorrhea pus from women?
Yeah, that just hadn't occurred to anybody.
I'm sorry, what if Hillary Clinton gets gonorrhea? What then?
Oh my god.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
That was a common thing?
that was a common thing.
Like, a doctor would do that for you?
I mean, doctors back then also, who, like, if a wound got infected, they'd saw your arm off while you were chugging whiskey. So it's not like, whoa, you mean the doctor? The doctor was just some guy who cut stuff off. The doctor was just some guy, but like every medical office was just an open mic. And they're like, maybe this will work. Put leeches on there. Pray to God. I don't fucking know. Everyone's going to be dead in 5 years.
Do you ever fantasize about going back in time and being the guy to be like, just wash your hands?
Totally.
And then how many lives they would like.
Yeah,
You're like,
everything would
you're
change
like,
forever.
Yeah, trust me, you're not going to get this. But yeah.
But they would make fun of you.
Well, because it does sound, the idea of germs sounds crazy.
It's literally
There's
like
little
schizophrenic
invisible
delusion.
things
Yeah,
that
make
yeah.
you sick, that invade your body.
It's
You're
schizophrenic.
like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we were so off for so much of history. Like they used to be like, if you're sick, oh, you should drain your blood, get all the bad blood out. Which you get, you get the thought there. But it's like the last thing you need is less blood. So someone's like weak and they're like, oh, we tried everything. We bled him to death. That didn't work. Get some parasites. That'll help. I don't know. It's hopeless.
Yeah, it really was like vibes-based medicine.
Just vibes, 100%. I mean, even the like during the plague where they were just dressed like birds.
Well, that was for the smell, right?
Yeah. And also, like, there was people, like, walking around whipping themselves because they thought they weren't, like, good enough for God.
Jesus.
Like, they weren't suffering enough. So they were like, is this enough, Sky Daddy? Will you make the pain stop now?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Have any other animals developed religion, or are we the only ones that, like, have a conception of a God?
I
I've never
don't
heard of.
know.
Yeah.
think dogs think it's doorbells. He's returned, as the prophecy foretold.
He's risen once
and
again.
the seventh day he came back with treats. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any chimpanzee. They do have funerals. I've seen a lot of videos of
Really?
chimpanzees and monkeys having funerals.
Oh.
Of a ceremony. It's very big. They also will brutally go to war and kill each other. So it's like, yeah, closest rolling relative.
Yeah.
You can see the resemblance.
Damn. Hey, well, we're at 33 minutes. Should we head over to the Patreon?
I think we should head over to the page.
Come see us on the
Thanks
page.
for coming out, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm on Instagram at Maddie T. Wiener.
Kenyon Adam chick.
Come see us on the road.
Howdy, dude.
Have a good one.